Okay, the next thing we're going to do is run Aircrack. We've got our WPA four-way handshake up here. You can see that in the window, in the capture window itself. And you may have to do this a couple of times. Sometimes you get a WPA handshake that's not good, and that's why instead of sending one set of deauthentication packets, I sent 10 to make sure we get a good one. But you still may have to do this a couple of times, and basically you just repeat the command until you get another handshake. Now, what we have to do is we have a capture here, and I have my dictionary file there, so we have to run Aircrack on that capture using that dictionary list. And I showed you the dictionary list earlier. So it's actually not too hard to do. We say Aircrack ng, and we specify -e, and we have to tell it the actual SSID name, which is, in this case, is VTC. And then we do a -s, and -s really tells it just to use ASCII characters. And a -w tells it which word list we're going to use. I'm going to use /home /Bobby /dict_list. And then we just specify the capture name, and that's VTC cap1, and we have to specify a capture file there. So that's our capture file. So let's go ahead and run this and see what we get. Now it's going to go through my entire list here, and you can see it's in alphabetical order. So it's going to try all of those keys. Now, if we don't get anything, that just means whatever we got was not in that particular dictionary file. So the bigger the dictionary file, the better. So it's just going through all the different possibilities here. And it looks like we have a key found. Now, for those who know me, I am partial to Ford Thunderbirds, and I've had a couple in my time. So Thunderbird is my favorite car, and that was actually the key, the password for this particular wireless access point. So that's the WPA key right there. It's Thunderbird, all lowercase. Now let's talk about this for a minute. How could we have avoided someone getting this key? Well, we go back to the very basics of security, password complexity. The password should be long and complex and use character sets and use upper and lower and special characters and so forth. Okay, had we done all that, there's a good possibility this word would not have been in the dictionary I used. Now, granted, I used a very small dictionary, but understand that hackers have dictionary files that are in the millions and millions of entries. And often you can also use a dictionary file, especially a huge one, and mangle the words and get possibilities like using zeros instead of O's and $signs instead of S's. That's called mangling. So given a big enough dictionary file and enough time, rather, it's still going to be possible to get the right word, the right password, or in this case, WPA key, given a big enough dictionary file that has complex words in it. So the key to WPA, as you can see here, is longer and more complex passwords. The longer and the more complex password, the less likely it's going to be in a dictionary file. That doesn't mean that it won't be, because hackers can develop huge dictionaries, but it limits the possibilities. So instead of saying Thunderbird, we could have used 26 letters, combinations of lowercase, uppercase, special characters, and so forth. And WPA actually allows for long keys. So definitely that's the key to securing WPA, is using a long complex key. In the case of WEP, well, there's not much you can do about WEP. WEP is not very secure because of the implementation of RSA, or RC4 rather, streaming protocol that's used in WEP. So we've cracked WPA and showed you how to use Aircrack, the Aircrack suite of tools, which is Airmon, AirDump, AirReplay, and Aircrack, and a few others, to crack a WPA key. So this is how hackers do crack wireless networks, by getting the keys. And of course, once you've got the key, then we can authenticate to the network and proceed with some other hacking methods, getting to other boxes, getting usernames, passwords, and so forth. So that's our demonstration of wireless network hacking.